every walker who ever walks in the tower, except for him. As it turns out, Mare's stone is considered the return stone. The demon explains that, in fact, the Mare's granite does not send the user into the past. Instead of this, as it turned out, he is in the trap of dreams that the Mare makes. And up to the top floor, only Jewin had the annoying thought of finishing the tower. In the end, he refuses to accept the offer to return to the past and start all over again. Due to the fact that thanks to the comment of the demons, Jewin now understands that this is actually a tower of nightmares. He implies, in fact, that the granite of the Mare was already made in a dream. As a result of this, he decides to hunt the beastman and approach the next floor. While Bystrain is trying to attribute something else, Jewin suddenly pushed him with a blade he received from an ice dragon. But, similarly, it is not for example elementary, for example, as Animal Strain elementarily renews his own severed head and invites Jewin to whatever he desires in case he accepts the demon's offer. But Jewin wants nothing more, he just wants to get to the top floor. The demon also tries to swindle him, saying that because he is already in the dream of the Tower of Nightmares, he demonstrates that the outer universe is actually in order. And all the walking towers are in a coma. Bystrain also claims that Jewin can never defeat him due to the fact that in comparison with him, who barely manages to pass the study, the demon is absolutely not like tower monsters. But Jewin didn't back down, blade in hand as he continued to strike. The battle does not last long. Jewin returns to the forge beaten with potions in his hands. At this point, he is a finite person who walks around the tower and repairs personal equipment. This day is the 72nd attempt, but Jewin challenged the Bystrain any day without entertainment. No. Be that as it may, he does not have the opportunity to forget the scratches on the demon. Last but not least, Jewin always has the opportunity to expire alive from the battle. Oddly enough, he does not want Jewin to be alive, and he does not have every plan to destroy Jewin. That's why, no matter how many years it takes, Jewin doesn't give up. In the control room, Bystrain looks after everything. Jewin cooks. He demonstrates that he is actually a cultivator, and for the first time he sees something similar. He explains that the cultivator actually guarantees that the product will become harmlessly adapted to the all-powerful earth, placing it through a repeated process of rearing, for example, that the product itself matures and improves. The leading process is the rejection of unnecessary seeds so that only good ones are preserved. This is done through a learning game that looks for good products. Given this, the selected product has the opportunity to actually begin to grow through the actual game, so the secondary move is to provide selected seeds with water and fertilizer and feed them. Bystrain, for example, rejoiced, asking, in fact, that his tower is capable of owning such a product, but to think, in fact, that the product itself refuses to be transferred to the next step. This gives him problems due to the fact that he does not have the opportunity to destroy the product himself, expressing doubts about the results that have every chance of appearing. Jewin is a definite product for the demon, as a result of which the gods continue to contact him under this pretext. At this point, Jewin doesn't even have any building data, but he still doesn't have the ability to achieve Bystrain. As a result, he has put the entire tower system in shambles, which in fact forces him to experience something. After questioning the system of the world, he sees something unusual, which has taken the form of a dinner, a grain, and also jagged lumps of sugar. Every time they changed, they took on a different form. These particles were the essence of such a world. No matter what form it was, he unconsciously realized what it was. While Bystrain was thinking about the consequences, Jewin is seen behind and shoves an imp with a black blade. Bystrain keeps trying to tell Jewin to move to the next step, but his eyes are set. With a fierce determination to destroy the cultivator, Jewin continues to shove and shove. Perseverance was gone. Bystrain held him back, asking what the hell Jewin wanted so that he would be ready to run across to the next step. In the end, he feels that he finally got a demon. He thinks that this is actually a good idea. He endured to the limit of the demon. Finally, Bystrain explained that in fact the galaxy is not produced only from the first dimension. The leading dimensional degree is called the all-powerful territory, and below it, there are countless configurations branching off from it. Territory is just one of the tiny planets in the dimensional system. Actually, that crumbled from countless alterations. Earth is called the 294th world. Being in the Tower of Nightmares, walkers have every chance to weld abilities and items. After that, working on their own status, they will begin to adapt to the system of the all-powerful Earth. And they will earn a chance to go to a fresh world. Actually, as for the demons, their role is to assist the process. Bestrain further clarifies that the Tower of Nightmares was actually summoned to the ground simply by chance, in fact, that it was chosen by Bestrain. But what Joan learns next is completely different from this. He learns why someone like